Hi there, Jeffrey Rhoades from Experimental Homesteader, Exotic Gardening, and Richcherson.com. Sheri's been spraying her Lysol over there. Please subscribe. Click that join button. Join our membership.
Do you want Lysol too?
No.
Do you think it would help?
No,
I don't need.
No, I don't need a shower of Lysol.
Okay. No Lysol showers in this house. Okay.
So, still have COVID, of course. It takes several days to get past this, but I'm not feeling too bad. So far, the symptoms have been really pretty mild. At the moment, the headache is gone. Last I checked, I had a minor fever. Very low grade, like 100.1. Still have a little bit of tightness in the chest and cough.
Your cough is actually sounding worse.
Well, I haven't gotten a lot of phlegm up recently either. But I'm not coughing very much. It's not very often. Still tired, still weak. I mean, I've been tired and weak for, months. So that's nothing really new in some ways. Muscle fatigue and the tiredness I've been dealing with for a while. But most of the rest of the symptoms seem to be, getting better.
And he had to go back to the hospital last night?
Yeah. So, I had messaged the HR supervisor at work and found out they don't accept a home test.
Even though he sent the paperwork that the hospital did that said he was COVID-19 positive.
Well, no, they didn't actually. It didn't say COVID-19 positive. The paperwork does not say that.
Says
okay?
You have been diagnosed with COVID-19.
It says been diagnosed with COVID-19. It does not say COVID-19 positive. Okay. It's in the wording. This is the thing. It's in the wording. The paperwork that I sent him did not say that I was COVID-19 positive. It said I was diagnosed with COVID-19, that I was treated for COVID-19 because I got the monoclonal antibodies. But he basically said, well, they don't accept the home test. I needed to get a test to show that I was positive for COVID-19. Now, I had already checked through the 211 phone number and all of the local free test sites because of the holidays, and this included the health department. Nobody was going to be open for, had any availability until Tuesday. Now, the only thing I could do, the only thing that was showing possibly availability was driving to Fort Wayne, basically an hour away, to get tested. Now, as tired as I am, I really don't want to be behind the wheel. Not for any length of time, anyways. A quick little trip to, say, the hospital, okay, I can deal with that. But to drive, an hour away to get tested was rather ridiculous.
And then turn around and drive an hour back.
And then turn around and drive an hour back. But that was the only way I was going to get a free test. So instead, I went ahead and went back to the ER last night, early this morning, 2 o'clock this morning, and had them do a COVID test. Now, this was not a rapid test. This is a PCR test. And
because the rapid test is the same test that he already took at home.
But it would have been okay as a rapid test because it would have been documented by the hospital. Okay. But they did a PCR test on me. So now I'm waiting for the results. And they said it could be, a couple of days to get the results of the test.
And a $3,000 bill.
Yes, and it costs $3,000. Now, since it's now a new year, my insurance deductible has reset to 0. So it's going to be a big question of whether the insurance will pay for this test or not. But it's probably not going to cover it because, well, I've got a 0 deductible. So until I meet my deductible of, I think it's $3,200 for the deductible.
The test will almost meet the deductible.
Yeah, it almost meets the deductible. But I got a $3,000 emergency room bill.
And you're not excused from work until you get the results.
And I'm not excused from work until I get the actual proof of COVID that he's requiring, which is a actual, positive result test, rather than relying on the emergency room saying you have been diagnosed with COVID.
And then he's only giving 5 days off to people and telling them to return to work, whether or not they still test positive for COVID.
Right.
So now we wonder why COVID is spreading so rapidly.
Right. Because he's misinterpreting the CDC guidelines, which say return to work 5 days after no symptoms. He's saying it's 5 days after diagnosis. So we've got a problem. We'll deal with it. We'll get through this. Some way, somehow, we will get through this.
We're going to make some phone calls tomorrow.
Yes, we are going to be making phone calls tomorrow.
Because this is not right, and this is why it's spreading so rapidly.
The doctor that I talked to early this morning, when I went back to the ER, took down some information from me as to where I worked and who I was dealing with, and he was going to talk to the hospital administration about getting in touch with my place of work about this issue, because he felt that it was ridiculous that I was putting myself and others at risk for a test that was unnecessary. My paperwork said, been diagnosed with COVID. That says it right there. I have COVID.
Yeah, you had enough symptoms.
Yeah, I had enough symptoms. I told them I had taken a home test, and I told them the symptoms that I was dealing with, and that was good enough for them to make the diagnosis and to give me the antibodies. If I hadn't been, showing enough symptoms, they would not have authorized the antibodies.
No, they would have gave you the same test you already bought.
Yeah.
To double check.
Yeah. But they took it at face value based on the symptoms I had.
They've seen enough people with COVID.
They knew what they could, what was going on.
Yeah.
They recognized it. They knew it. They were right on it, okay, let's get you the antibodies. Let's stop this, before it gets bad. And but yeah, this is what I'm dealing with now. Start of a new year, and it's just not a happy year already.
Between me picking up the truck and finding out that some of the work I paid for wasn't done.
Yeah.
And it's shutting down twice on me on the way home. And then taking the cobalt while I was still testing negative to go try to get the supplies that we needed to be able to quarantine in. And the cobalt going on the blitz. The breeze already needing computer work and the door not closing.
Well, but if it's just you going somewhere, the door not closing isn't a big deal.
It isn't, but what if I want to pick somebody up, or what if I get there and I forget and I open that door?
Well,
and the computer issue with the Breeze is a big deal. And so I kind of feel like between all the vehicle issues and the truck issue should not have even been. That should have been taken care of.
We paid a lot of money to have that truck fixed and fixed right, and it's not. I went out there and started it a little while ago, and it was not running right.
No, and they forgot to attach the camera back to the license plate.
They did not realize. They did not install that backup camera. They basically tugged a wire in to the cab to tighten up the wire that going up over the wheel well, and that's about all they've done.
Seriously?
That's the best I can tell. Best I can tell is they pulled the wire taut inside the cab of the truck.
So the wire is still in the wheel well?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be contacting the owner because he'll make them do it right.
Yeah, it's still in the wheel well. It's just it's taut up across instead of being loose like it was and hanging. That was the problem I had. I didn't have it tight. So it was hanging a little bit, and I had put a magnet on there to hold it in place.
And I told him to leave the magnet.
I didn't feel the magnet anywhere. But I think all they pretty much did was just kind of tighten it up. They just pulled the wire in. But as far as I can tell, they did nothing to actually finish the install of that camera.
Well, see, the owner hasn't been there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was going on, and I felt like him calling me at 10:30 and saying you need to have it picked up by noon was quite a bit rushed.
Yeah.
And I should have walked around it, and I didn't. And I felt like when I was sitting there, it didn't sound right. It just didn't sound right.
Well, part of that is because it's quieter.
Yeah, but I can
which
hear
I
a
didn't
surge.
I didn't actually. Yeah, it's not idling correctly.
No, it's not.
It's
not.
Fluctuating.
And that's why it was dying, because it was going.
Yeah. And I did not actually look to see if you actually have dual exhaust pipes. The way it looks, it's only one exhaust pipe.
Yeah, well, that was a freebie that they threw in, so I'm not going to say anything about that because I appreciate that.
Okay.
But, no, we did not pay for that. That was a freebie because he forgot to quote me on how much that was going to cost.
Okay.
So I said, let it go for now.
Okay.
And I'll deal with that when we get around to restoration.
Okay.
So, but the cobalt and what it did, because I have a full tank of gas and it kept saying low fuel, low fuel, low fuel, and then it kept saying low key fob, and I have told them multiple times about the low battery key fob.
Yeah.
And it's only been since I bought the new key fob
that it's been doing that.
It's been doing it, and Emmett said the new guy didn't program it right, and I said I don't think so. And I got a new battery for the key fob, and it's still doing it.
Right.
So I feel like there's
something
and
not
then
right.
That and the low fuel was, and the cobalt was shutting down on me.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to make it home, and it just really was not a good New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's not starting. This year is not starting off well.
No.
For us. So.
No. Well, that was the end of last year.
Well, it's the.
Yeah.
It's the start of the new year. The end of the year and the first of the year has not been a good, start.
No.
So we're hoping that things will get better.
But we do appreciate the people that have checked on us and have gone out to get us some stuff.
Yes, we've
I
had.
missed seeing my daughter and my grandkids this time around. She brought us our Christmas cards and a tea for me and some salad. Jeff didn't want anything.
Yeah.
But I can only look out the window at her.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, I haven't seen her for months. So that really didn't sit well with me either. because I was looking forward to us all going out to eat and spending some time together.
Well, and that's my fault for catching this stupid virus.
You know whose fault it is? It's the place you work for's fault, because they're rushing people to come back when they're still testing positive for COVID.
I know.
That's
I
the
know.
truth of it.
But I'm just, I'm taking part of the responsibility for it, that I got the virus, so part of it's my fault, okay?
And I'm glad that I still do not have it.
Yeah. So we're hoping a couple more days and she should be fine. Because we were told by a friend of ours that is in the medical field that if she isn't showing any symptoms 5 days after I've tested positive, then she should be fine.
And then I want to insist that our doctor test me.
Yeah,
because
we want to get.
If I have natural immunity, then
and the antibodies, then she wants to donate some blood so that they can make some antibody for other people to use.
Yeah, as long as my doctor at the cancer center doesn't think it will trigger my anemia.
Right.
And that it's okay for me to do it, that
right.
I want to help some other people.
Well, and once I'm recovered, I want to look into the donating, getting some antibodies out there for other people to use. If they can do that, because I don't want other people going through this. If I can help somebody else, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So we'll check into all of that when we get to that point.
Yeah, and I feel like your symptoms have been so mild compared to what I've heard.
Yeah.
And you've been really lucky, because all I could think when we saw that positive test was, great, here comes 2022 and I'm going to be a widow again.
And I told you not to worry so much about it.
Well, but it's scary.
You have been doing a really good job of making me, eat better and do things to keep my immune system in better shape. Okay?
That's my job.
Well, and that is what's helping to keep this in check. Keeping my immune system built up, has helped to keep this, in check.
Do you want another elderberry?
No. I've actually doubled up on my vitamins.
Okay.
So we got multivitamins for me. Month and a half ago.
Yeah, some Alive multivitamins for men over 50.
And so it has the vitamin D I need, it has the vitamin C, and it has the zinc. But I went ahead and doubled up on the vitamins, so I'm getting twice the recommended dosage of the vitamin, so as to boost my immune system a little bit more.
Put your mask on and I'm going to walk over and show what I'm taking. Just put it on for a minute. I know you hate the Lysol, but...
Only because it sometimes triggers my allergies.
Yes. This is what I am taking, because I didn't feel like I needed to have the launches, even though I like those better, but they had a lot of sugar in them. And since I'm trying to watch my sugar, I wanted something that didn't have sugar. And this has extra vitamin C and zinc. So I'm taking this in addition to my Alive multivitamin for women over 50.
Right. So, product placement. Hey, free product placement even.
And I have been boiling garlic on the stove for several weeks now.
Yeah. So. And that's been helping to purify the air. We've also got an air purifier running pretty much nonstop that is a microfilter that is supposed to filter out the COVID-19 virus. Yeah. So we've been taking a lot of steps. And it just, somehow, some way, I came into contact and got this, but we're doing a lot better than it could be. So, Anyways, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching all of this.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. Give us thumbs up, thumbs down, comments below. And we will see everybody tomorrow. Stay safe out there.